It is the time.
Actually, my clock's a little fast. So
I was going to say, it's like 3 minutes fast.
So we're in the future.
We were actually on your time.
it is time travel.
Greetings and/or salutations, and welcome to the Imbibe Cinema. The Imbibe Cinema podcast is brought to you by the Blue Whiskey Independent Film Festival, otherwise known as BWIF. I'm Jonathan C. Legat, along with my co-host,
Tricia Legat.
as well as our producer,
Michael Nowens. I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to edit that now. John's trying to keep me on my toes.
I think you should just after this, make him do multiple takes of it, and then just kind of lead in with every take, and then he'll finish the sentence in the end. So it'll be like a big, suspenseful.
I mean, I'm true to form on my second drink, but apparently this one's hitting a little harder than normal.
I want to help.
Second?
I'm going to help
Yes,
you a
sir.
little. I'm going to help you a little with the math, sweetheart. They were both doubles,
They were both doubles,
so that's not one.
but
drink.
I'm not farther through the.
You're 2 drinks in. They were
Let's
in one
quickly
glass.
get into the science before we
No, nobody was looking to this podcast to hear me say anything intelligent about science.
Oh, there goes a bunch of our demographics.
Oh, boy.
All right. We are also pleased to welcome back our esteemed guest.
Pete Guither.
Yes. Pete requested, after we had done Predestination, that this be one of the next films that we did, and we are so super excited to be discussing tonight's 2014 epic adventure, Interstellar.
Oh my God, it's from 2014.
I
Same
know.
year as Predestination.
Yep.
Holy crud!
Yep.
It doesn't feel as that.
blown.
It doesn't. Yeah, it doesn't feel BC.
Before Children?
Yes.
It 1,000% was BC, because otherwise we wouldn't have gone to the theater.
No, we couldn't have seen it.
Correct.
You're right.
Pete also found the cocktail for us. And Pete, if you would like to take the honors of why this cocktail needed to be and what is in the ingredients.
Well, in the movie, in Interstellar, we, of course, have lost almost all the crops due to the blight. And Earth is facing potential starvation. And about all that still can grow is corn. The okra has died out, which would be bad if we had to make an okra drink. But so with corn being the main thing, it seemed right to have a corn-based cocktail. And bourbon has to be at least 51% corn. And some of the bourbons like Redemption or which is what I'm having, Makers are like at 70 plus.
This is why John's so corny.
And then there's this wonderful Mexican elote liqueur called Nixta. And so the drink is a shot of bourbon, a shot of Nixta, and 4 or 5 splashes of chocolate bitters. And it is really tasty.
Yes.
It is.
Dangerously tasty.
Yes.
I might not make it through the intro. Dangerously tasty.
Give this man a water.
But it seemed right to have a corn-based drink. So
Yes. Yeah.
yeah. I sort of cobbled it together from a number of drink recipes out there.
Well, okay, so this is a Pete Guither original.
Kinda. It's an adaptation. We'll call it that.
Okay, and what's it called?
The Cooper.
Ah.
I like it.
So look for this episode's recap link in our show notes, where you'll also find a written summary of our discussion, along with the picture and the ingredients to make your own The Cooper at home. All right, now, Pete. Again, this I will state this cast. I use cast as podcast,
Not cast of
lingo. No, not the cast of the movie.
Right. Yeah.
But this one was pretty much your brainchild from start. What is it about this film that immediately grabs you and makes you want to discuss and help those viewers appreciate this film more?
Well, I think in part it goes back to when I was growing up, I was a huge fan of hard science fiction.
Yeah.
I read Isaac Asimov, who was not only a science fiction writer, but a scientist. So the key thing was that in the science fiction, there were things that were posited that weren't able to do yet.
Yeah.
You know, faster than light travel or whatever. But then within that framework, everything else would be scientifically accurate. And that was sort of the basis of hard science fiction. And it's something that I've always loved. I mean, I like fantasy too, but I really get into the whole hard science fiction aspect. And on a podcast earlier this season for Hail Mary, Project Hail Mary, you also talked about how the science informed that. And Andy Weir has been very big on science in terms of what he's doing. So, but this is like on steroids. It goes incredibly beyond. And part of it is because of a guy named Kip Thorne. If you look at the listings in the movie, he's listed as executive producer.
Yeah.
But he was actually one of the first two people involved in this film.
Yeah.
Okay.
He was dating producer Linda Obst, who also did Contact. Okay. And she came up with the idea that they should work on creating a movie that deals with gravity and black holes because that was his specialty.
Ooh.
Kip Thorne, he specializes in black holes, gravity, and related areas, and won a Nobel for his work with gravitational waves. So the whole idea was, let's write a movie that deals with those scientific aspects of gravity waves, of black holes, and all of that. And they spent years working on it. They brought on Jonathan Nolan, Christopher's brother, as a writer. And he worked on writing it with them. And then the studio that they shopped it to got Steven Spielberg on it.
Right.
And so Spielberg was attached to it until Paramount couldn't work out a deal with him. So it went back into obscurity for a few years. And then Christopher came on board and got Paramount and Warner to work together to come up with a contract so that he could do it. So basically, you have a movie that started out entirely written by a scientist.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay. And I mean, not writing part of it, but the creation of it.
Yeah.
Through that.
The world.
And then even when Christopher came on board, Christopher would come to him about every aspect.
Yeah.
How would this work? And the science even changed during the process of the years that Kip Thorne was working on this, so that he was able to even make some adjustments and improvement. I read he wrote a book, The Science of Interstellar, which is an entire book about the science behind this movie.
And that is the book that I am meant to bring with me because I have it.
What?
Yeah. It's awesome.
I read it. It is awesome. There are parts of it where I'm just going, okay, that's totally over my head.
Same.
I have no idea. But the great thing was every step in the book, he would identify the thing that he's talking about is either true, an educated guess, or speculation.
Right.
Okay.
So, but none of it was going to be untrue. So everything was either true or speculative because they just don't know yet.
Well, and black holes themselves were theorized a long time before the math proved it. And then we didn't actually see one. We just knew that they could exist because the math. And then I don't think they actually had the first picture of one is 2019.
And wormholes are also proven by the math.
Okay.
Right.
And the kinds of wormholes. So that was all part of it. So
oh my goodness, all these podcasts are linking together.
Yeah.
Math.
Yeah. Now, it even got to the point where during the filming, the cinematographer would get together with Kip Thorne to find out what the wormhole would actually look like. So they would get the visuals correct.
Oh, my.
Yeah, my understanding of that is they based all of the visual effects of the wormhole off of mathematic equations.
Oh my.
Yeah.
So basically, Kip Thorne was like, scientifically, this is how it should work. And they were like, all right, let's make a visual representation of that.
Good, great.
And then, wait, and a wormhole is also referred to as the Einstein-Rosen...
Yeah, Einstein-Rosen bridge, yes.
Yes.
And yeah, because we get into a whole bunch of stuff with Einstein being involved, because now we get into dimensions.
Yes.
Which becomes a huge part of this story as well.
Yep.
And it really gets in. This is where Jonathan's head's going to start exploding. So I just need to prep you for that.
Hold it in, John.
I'm well lubricated for it.
Are you familiar with the book Flatland?
No, I am not.
It was a little thin book published in 1884. I fell in love with it when I was a kid.
You're not that old, Pete.
It is. Yeah. It had already been out for a while.
The Romance of Many Dimensions by Edwin Abbott?
Yes.
Ooh.
Exactly. And it is a book about creatures who live on a two-dimensional plane. And so we try to understand a two-dimensional plane, and that helps us understand the difference between a three-dimensional and a two-dimensional. So a two-dimensional plane, you got a square, a circle, all living on this flat piece of paper.
Yeah.
And how would you be able to interact with them? Because you're a three-dimensional being. You know, your voice waves would not be two-dimensional, so that wouldn't work. You might be able to jiggle the paper or something like that would affect them, but you wouldn't be able to interact with them as a three-dimensional being. Now you take us as a three-dimensional world, universe. Then you have to add the fourth dimension, which is time.
Yep.
And because of Einstein, we realize that time is not a separate dimension, but time is linked to our spatial dimensions in spacetime.
Right.
Yes.
Because of the fact that mass and gravity actually affect time. So they can't be separated. Right. They are all part of it. So now if you imagine that our three-dimensional universe plus time is that flat piece of paper that we were imagining the two-dimensional beings living on. Okay, just for the purpose, because we can't look outside of ourselves. We don't have the ability.
Right.
Well, if we are that flat piece of paper at a three-dimensional level, four-dimensional level, then that space outside of us is basically the bulk, is what they call it, which they refer to that in the film.
Yep.
And that's the scientific term for it, which is fifth dimension, or the dimension outside of our universe.
Yes.
And that is where gravity and black holes and all of that interact with the bulk. So the idea being is that fifth dimensional creatures, if they existed in the bulk, they wouldn't know how to look at us or talk to us or anything any more than we could know how to talk to a two-dimensional character. But in this particular conceit in the movie, they could create this four-dimensional Tesseract library box. And the one way that they could interact with our universe only in one way, and that is through gravity waves.
Yes.
So actually, there's no people traveling in time in this movie. There is time dilation, but all that can affect early Murph is gravitational waves.
Yes.
And that is what he is doing in the library. So that's the whole science thing.
The library is, like you said, it's all one location, but it isn't. It isn't, because if you make the coordinates, you have to have time be part of those coordinates. So it's really several places, because the time is different.
Yes. Earth is spinning.
Infinite.
Earth is also moving through orbit. I mean, yes, there is the coordinate, but like at least what Cooper is explaining is all they couldn't create ways to communicate in all these different locations. All it is one room throughout time, and that is how he is able to jump back to a certain point in that room's time and do gravity X, and then jump to a different time in that same room.
He's not actually jumping to that other time. He is able to see it the same way that we can see a star that existed millions of years ago through the light that is coming to us. And so he can see the past, but the past cannot see him.
Yeah.
The only thing that can cross the barrier is gravity. And that's what he's using in that space through the way he's hitting that to make books fall or to make the watch change or to make
the dust,
come down.
Yeah.
The fact that he ends up programming an entire equation into a watch.
It's
don't get me
all
wrong.
Morse code. It's all
He has help, but at the same time, it's going to take her 20-something odd years to decode ones and zeros from a watch and find out where the starting point is.
Well, and to the point, like the thing that kind of, this is maybe going away from science a little bit for a moment, but the whole running theme of love and how that transcends time is a very interesting thing.
It transcends space and time.
Yeah.
That's right. The thing that they keep coming back to, even in that one line where Tars is like, how do you know she's going to come back for this watch? Mm-hmm. Like, you're putting everything in this watch. Like, how do you know? Because I gave it to her. And that's just... he's gambling the whole thing on his love for his daughter and his daughter's love for him.
It's the power of love.
Yeah, if we didn't write off love as a selfish motivation, like it that is whether consciously or unconsciously biasing you in a way that's not looking at the greater picture, which is how they treat Anne Hathaway when she says, I there's something greater pulling me there. I know we have to go there. And imagine if they had gone there, would the scientists be alive?
Yes, he would have. Because they wouldn't have taken 30-something. Well, they definitely wouldn't have lost all the the equipment.
Or two of their guys. Like two of the team.
No, they were already going to the water where they lost one of their team because he sat there staring at things for way too long.
No, it's not his fault. But what I'm saying is it is a total human reaction. It is not unbelievable to freeze. I mean, you can, anybody can freeze in a moment of panic.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
No matter how much you're trained for it.
Correct.
You never know.
They could also have believed her earlier and not even gone to the water planet.
True.
Probably
I think it was the
not,
closest
but they
one
could
have.
It was the closest one, but it was also
the one.
There was also
to
the
the
whole discussion about the fact that it was going to be a time suck, and it was going to
literally
hurt their ability and hurt his ability to get home.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. And as Brant says, we should consider time a resource like we would with fuel and anything else.
But if they had made that decision, then humanity might have been doomed.
Yeah.
That's true.
Because nobody would have been able to send the signal back to the library for Murph to discover how to solve the problem of getting the people off Earth and become eventually the fifth dimension residents.
Do they become the fifth dimension residents, or does Brand's new population?
No, they don't become. Well,
there's a whole group. She has a whole nursery.
Cooper thinks it's them.
Well, yeah, but which them?
Pete from a bootstrap.
Oh. Now we get this. It happened, so it happened.
So it happened because it happened. See?
No, and you're right, and we all agree, and that is an obvious statement in this film to make, and we're so glad that you're. No, I'm just kidding.
And yes, wow. Despite the fact that there is no actual time travel, it is a closed loop. So yeah,
see,
it is. It's like a closed loop, but it's only a closed loop because the fifth dimensional beings can see it all at once.
Yes, but which ones are the fifth dimensional beings? Is it the people in our universe that managed to get off of Earth, or is it the people we grew in the new planet? Or do they
in the future?
Yes,
regardless.
I know, but that was my question.
Well, Cooper thinks it's Murph's group that becomes the fifth dimension.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
but I don't think anybody knows.
Yeah. It doesn't necessarily.
Or if, in fact, it is humans that did it.
Yeah. It could have been other beings.
Yes, other
that
beings are
decided.
probably nicer than we are.
The one reason to think that it might have been is because it was necessary for humanity to survive.
That's applying our sense of emotion and more like it's like the different planes. It's like who knows how anybody else in the universe would behave. We can't say that they would have the same set of values or whatnot that we do.
Mm-hmm.
But then also, in reality, how many people would be like, for the future of the species? And how many people would be like, no, for the people I love? Like, it's very hard to find somebody who especially in our current world, it really does feel like people who think about the future of the species, if we had more people who did that, then we wouldn't have the problems with the climate we currently do.
The one thing that you guys had mentioned before we started rolling was corrected textbooks. And then
Yes.
I gave every single one of you a confused look because
Ooh, your blood pressure.
What is a corrected textbook?
Oh,
So yeah, in the beginning
Such
of
a big
the
moment.
movie, in the beginning of the movie, he has a parent-teacher conference that he goes to.
Yes.
The moon landing was fake.
Okay, that corrected textbook.
And we
Thank you.
corrected that.
She is using his textbook
Yes, where it talks about moon
instead
landing
of the corrected textbooks.
Thank you.
And what's fascinating to me is that when I saw this movie in theaters in 2014,
that seemed
that was
absurd
like,
and
wow,
a throwaway.
insane, absurd, perfect word. And
Yeah.
rewatching the movie earlier today, I was like, what the actual fuck?
Yes.
Oh.
I am
It
now
hit
depressed.
so
Yeah.
differently.
Yes, it did hit differently with the Department of
Yes.
Education.
I felt just like Cooper. I was like, go blow up about this. You know,
Yeah.
this is so horribly wrong.
I got you suspended.
I love, this is a little bit into the performance here, but I love how fuming he gets and how he does. Cooper is not a loud, angry person. When he gets angry, he gets real quiet.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like you can feel the steam coming
Yes.
off of him. And I thought that was just such a great choice as an actor. And I mean, to the point where, you know, he was like, where he says, you know, he's talking about his wife, and how she would be sitting here instead of me because she was always, what does he say? The cooler one, the more
Yes.
patient one, the calm-headed one. And you're like, oh, shit.
I also really loved so what are you going to do about it? Well, you know, she's been kind of interested in baseball recently, and there's a baseball game coming up, and
I
think I'm going to get her some ice cream.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to reward her for being smart enough to read past the bullshit.
And there's something to be said about the corrected textbook. And yeah, it's horrifying. But then also that whole situation, what do you do when you know the planet is dying and you know, like the educated few know that there is no hope, but we have this illusion we have to, well, if the world is ending, do you let the public know? Or, well, no,
Yeah.
because mass hysteria, right?
Hence the Michael Caine dilemma.
Don't look up.
He knows that without the data that you would get from the actual black hole,
You can't.
there is no escaping their future. That he's already done the equation, and the equation cannot be completed officially until there is that X
Right.
data. And so he knows that he is sending these guys to the detriment of those on Earth for the betterment of humanity.
He knows it has to be plan B
Yeah. It was never going to be plan A.
because they can't solve the equation. And yet he knows that he has to make them believe that they can.
Yeah.
Right? Because
Why you
then
call
it's
it
like,
plan A.
But and it's like it's such a hard call to make. It's such a difficult decision to make. And to he kind of comes across almost like the villain in some ways, but at the same time, it's like you sacrifice yourself, so nobody else has to live with this. Nobody else has to make that call. He's taking that burden away from everybody else, and he's offering them hope, which means they can live their lives as best they can which is a gift in itself. But it's such a really tragic character, and such a a great moment when you find out it was all a lie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And you find it out in two different locations. Like, you find it out when he confesses to Murph, and you find it out when they find out.
Murph tells them.
With Matt Damon.
Oh, man.
Yes.
Matt Damon.
Man.
Oh, what?
He was the greatest.
That
the best of us.
character, man.
Tell you what, we're going to take a few moments to fill our glasses and get ready to imbibe more after this. Hey, Michael.
I got some cool news.
You got some cool news? I love cool news. What's the news?
Our listeners can actually send us a voicemail now, and I'm thinking that maybe this will work better than text.
You think that the reason was because they had to actually type things where now they can actually speak to it?
Right. The cool thing is now they can actually leave us a voicemail, and then we can play that voicemail on the show.
Ooh.
And then answer that voicemail
In real time.
in real time. So
Well, almost real time.
Sub
Sub real time.
Sub real time.
Fake real time.
In our real time.
Yes.
Not their real
Not
time.
their real time.
But yeah, so they can leave us a voicemail with their film suggestions or what they think that we should cover on the show that we haven't yet.
Oh, okay.
I think that would be pretty cool. Or they could even just say, hey, you talked about this movie and you didn't talk about this, and I think you should be talking about this.
That's more than fair.
But then we can address that. So yeah, they should totally do that.
It's audience interaction. All right, so not only can you leave us a text, but you can also leave us a full voicemail, and we will be able to hear and respond to either your text or your voicemails.
Perfect.
I'm Jonathan C. Leggett, and I am here along with
Tricia Legat.
and
Michael Knowens.
our special guest,
Pete Guither.
and we are discussing Interstellar. Enjoying this podcast? Please subscribe or follow us on your favorite podcast providers to get our new episodes as soon as we release them. Rate and leave us a review to help the show reach that larger audience. You can also follow Imbibe Cinema on Facebook, Instagram, Threads, and Letterboxd. All right, so I know that even before we had started waxing poetics, we were already starting to talk about the production of this film. But I do want to actually take a quick step back on the sense that there was an interesting thing about this film, and I think one was AI. TARS and CASE, in the sense that I think the first time I watched it, my brain didn't quite compute what they were. That they were not only AI, but the joke essentially that they are is they are a military weapon that we had created. The way that this film addresses time that we have not yet lived is very casual. In the sense that it's okay, everything that has come between the point that you're watching this movie in 2020 something or 2016 something, and where it is, where the only things we have left are okra and corn. We've had a war. We've had a war that was machines, AI, military machines waging that war to the point that Cooper is not quite trusting of these two beings.
Even NASA.
Even
Because
NASA.
NASA was asked to drop bombs on starving people
Correct.
to ease the food.
The mouths.
The need of food.
We're at least 15 years away from that. So
Yeah. Are there any other things that jump out to you?
I love the idea of the AI in this situation. They are AI you want to hang out with. They are smart and funny, 75% humor.
the adjustable part, I mean, I need to be able to adjust Alexa,
In particular, the honesty level. 90%
That it knows not
Yeah.
to be 100%.
Percent honest.
honest with humans. because of emotion and whatnot.
And already you see
and
that.
explains in a very
Direct,
comprehensive, almost
understandable.
scientific way.
Matter of fact.
Yeah.
There you go.
Like, it's just, you can't do this with humans.
People can't handle
90% is it.
100% honesty. So
Yeah.
yeah.
So I love that.
Anything more than 90%, people are going to get pissed off.
Yeah.
Right.
And then it continuously calls back to, I mean, Coop and Brand say that over and over. Honesty level.
90%.
Yep.
Yes.
Self-destruct in.
Yeah. All right.
Right after I blow you out the airlock.
Yeah. Love that it understands 2001 Space Odyssey.
As long as we're talking about characters, I do have to make a plug for Mackenzie Foy, young Murph.
Oh,
Oh,
yes.
yes.
Yes. Fantastic.
I was so engaged whenever she was on the screen.
Aside from the fact that they look similarly, I do
Yes.
love whenever you have a young actor and an older actor that are playing the same character, and they both, at least on this viewing, I don't really feel like one was trying to be the other. They were literally complementing one another
That's
to
fair.
try to be
Yeah.
like, we're going to be the same person. They kind of borrowed a little bit from each other, I felt, having seen a number of Jessica Chastain films. I feel like she wasn't just, like Tom Hanks is usually Tom Hanks in a movie.
And Nicolas
You know what I mean?
Cage is always Nicolas Cage.
Right. And so like I feel like there was like a little bit of a study between the two of them. That was very believable. And in a way, I think between not as clear, but between Timothée Chalamet and Casey Affleck.
Yes.
I very much believed that they were the exact same person.
It was heartbreaking when Jessica Chastain Smurf was doing the "Did you know?"
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man, that hurt.
Yeah.
That just hurt so bad.
Well, and I love the montage of videos that you get when he comes back from the water planet, where it's
Miller's,
it's all of the time that's missed on this whole life,
Yeah.
and just snippets,
30-something odd years.
and it's
32?
heartbreaking.
And I saw an interview, I remember at some point with Matthew McConaughey, where he was talking about how there was like a rehearsal period, like there was something where they wanted to go through this. And he was very much about, no, you need to roll the camera on this, because the first time that I experience all of this, you are going to get very raw. And then I'm going to be trying to replicate that every time.
Yeah.
And because it was the first time that he would hear all of this.
Yes.
And he really wanted to be in the moment. And so, and they ended up rolling it, and he was like, and they used that very first take. We did multiple takes, but they used that first take because it was the most raw, which makes the most sense because he was really in the moment. He was present, and it's heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking just to, and I think it's clear in the way that they held on him for so much of it, because he was showing you both sides just in his reaction. Yeah, it was emotional.
Yeah. Because even though, much like Matt Damon's character, you can know the reality of a thing, accepting it and actually living it is different than just knowing it.
Matt Damon is such a good bad guy.
Yes.
He is.
He's such a good bad guy.
He's such a good coward, such a good weasel.
He did that very well.
How do you feel about his character being man? Like his name being man.
I do. I appreciate that
I hadn't
because
even thought of that.
he was the best of us, and it took him years before he broke down, and I feel like it encompasses a range of humanity in that way because he was the best of us and the worst of us all wrapped in one, and
that is man.
And it also really kind of focuses in on the that foible of self-preservation. I mean, going back to our discussion in Predestination, which people can watch, the idea of would you be willing to kill yourself in order to prevent the future from happening? And that is a little bit of what he is faced with here.
Right.
See, John, you're doing it to other people now. They all want to
taking that.
He's now he's going to say. He says, "Watch." Like you can watch with your ears.
Yes.
No,
exactly.
Our listeners should watch these movies.
Oh, good. Okay, yes.
Yes.
Oh, I see
Watch
what
the
you did there.
movie.
Yeah.
Yes. Very good. Now, I do have one science flashback for you. Why did the Indian satellite come down?
Yeah, good
You know,
question.
the
The one that they,
thing?
yeah,
Why
the
did-
one that they
why did it
chased
come
down.
The one that they chased down through the cornfields and got so he could use the
They almost
the
drive off
drone.
a cliff.
It was,
That's right.
it was a
That's right.
drone.
Okay, the
Yes.
drone. Yes. Why did the drone?
And-
Was it a
and
weather drone?
also,
Yeah.
it was
Well, he
probably
talked
a
about how
military
maybe
drone.
it fried, the circuits fried, like just
Right.
being up there so
But he
long.
also talked about how it was almost like it was seeking
Oh.
a signal of some kind.
yeah.
Oh,
And
because of those
then-
fifth dimensional
Then
people.
think about the fact that all of the combines suddenly
Right.
went haywire
when they
and
plugged into that.
lost track of their magnetic connection in terms of what direction it was. And that is because of gravity. Both of those things were because the house had been affected
Yep.
by gravity from the fifth dimension,
Yep.
from the
Tesseract.
Tesseract when Cooper was there, a gravity effect into our three-dimensional world that affected the gravitational pull around that house, which affected both that drone and the combines.
Yeah.
That is so
Right.
cool. And I don't think I ever, because there's so much in this movie.
There really
I think
is.
that's one
Yes.
thing I never really thought too much about after.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
so cool.
It's a big film. There's so much going on in it. I mean, even down to the world at the end with the baseball field in the circular, almost a Dyson sphere, almost
Yes.
like that it's in.
So excited
pretty
that
cool.
it broke those poor people's windows.
Probably happens all
So
the time.
excited.
Happens
Yep.
all the time.
Yep.
So excited though.
Yeah, but the fact that it is such an epic, and that it's almost two stories, everything on Earth versus everything after.
Yes.
And then the editing on how they put everything together is just really well done.
I think it worked. And just like I think that Project Hail Mary's editing worked as far as that aspect of it, even though some may disagree.
The thing that really grabs me every single time for this movie, there's a particular moment, and it's not, a typical Christopher Nolan booming so loud on top of dialogue that you can't understand, which it's not a dig at him.
It is pretty common though.
I actually enjoy that about him. It's weird, but I like it. I know a lot of other people don't, but it's the thunderstorm in space. That's something that I don't know what it is about it, but since the first moment that I saw it, when you have it's when they come out of their long nap, and they're approaching Saturn.
Oh,
the sound of the earth and a thunderstorm, and then it cuts
The crickets.
to the crickets, and it cuts to the Endurance moving past a planet, and you just hear a thunderstorm. And I just thought it was just, I don't know, there was just something very beautiful about it, that was very contradictory to one
Yes.
another. The silence of space and the noise of Earth.
Juxtaposition.
There you go. But
Yeah,
something
exactly.
about that really just, I don't know why, but it hooked its claws in me. And it's one of the things that I remember when I think about this movie. I think about that, which is weird.
Yeah, it's fascinating because of the fact that there is no sound in space. And yet, you want to have a sound that's going to bring the audience into the moment.
Yep.
And so you have to, as a director, find ways to make sound work in the emptiness of space without the Star Wars, just you're hearing explosions that you wouldn't actually be able to hear. But, yeah.
Right.
Or just John Williams in general.
To which this film really honors. It really, like, in multiple ways, you do not hear sound in space. When they are docking, you do not hear anything.
Right.
When
And
they
it builds suspense.
Oh God, does it ever?
When they after they dock with Endurance and they're floating through the ship and it's currently venting out into space, you're hearing nothing until all of a sudden they close the door and then you hear the alarms.
Yeah.
And then you hear all of them
Yeah.
because it's now enclosed and there's an atmosphere.
Oh God.
Right.
It's quite beautiful.
Matt Damon's final words are the only thing you hear.
Yeah.
Explosion silence.
Very cool stuff. It's taking that actual reality. Again, it goes back to the science. It's the realness of it rather than going for the, we're going to make explosions in space. You know?
Right.
No, it's about the actual realness of it and making the silence work and then contrasting it with sound when you're inside.
Yeah.
Christopher Nolan just knows how to push those buttons.
Yes.
And he's not afraid to make dialogue versus the environment really compete with one another.
Yes.
And I get the complaint that people have where they're like, I don't understand what they're saying because the environment is so loud. But that is done by design. And the more that you watch the film, I think you get why it's done that way.
Well, I mean, I would think, just without a specific example, I would think that it's meant to make you feel uneasy. It's meant to make you feel anxious. It's meant to make you feel like lean in. It's meant to get a reaction out of you.
Yeah.
That's more immersive to the film.
Yeah.
This is a really good drink.
It really
Yes, it
is.
is. It's very,
good.
It's going to
Very
make
tasty.
editing so much fun for Michael.
Dangerously good.
Yes, it is.
Pete, is there anything else that you have going on coming up?
Well, I just want to let you know that I just had a wonderful, amazing exhibit of my photography up in Chicago recently, along with a performance. And that is all leading to a comprehensive living canvas book that will be released sometime, hopefully in 2027.
All right.
I'm working on that now, and I'm using the feedback from the exhibit that I just had, and there will be an entire hardcover book with photography and history and stories and interviews and all sorts of stuff about living canvas, which is my art form. So, keep an eye on that and keep in touch with me, and I'll let you know when that's coming out.
Wonderful. Yay. Well, I'm Jonathan C. Legat, and thanks for imbibing with us. Cheers.